So when you have a list or you're running a loop, right, break helps you to terminate the loop at any point in time. In case you want to stop the loop at any point in time, you make use of break. Make use of break. And continue is like I do call it skip. I love calling it skip. Even though the syntax is continue, but it works like skip. Continue is like I don't want this. Go to the next one. Do you understand the difference? In fact, they are like what and opposite. Break is I've seen what I'm looking for. There's no reason to search again. Continue, it's like I'm yet to see what I'm looking for, but this particular one at hand does not even look like what I'm looking for. Quickly go to the next one. But before we look at break and continue, I want to introduce us to something called range. Range is an inbuilt function in Python. And what it's meant for is that it allows us to it's an inbuilt function that allows us to that creates an iterable. A list is an iterable. An iterable is something you can loop through. So let's say if I say range 0,5, this is the same as this is similar to something like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we get it? 0,5 is the same as saying it's something like this. It's going to generate this sequence of numbers for you: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It starts from 0 and it ends as 5, but it's not going to include 5 itself. It's not going to include the second number. If I have range 0, 8, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I have range 5, 10, that is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do we understand how this works?
Please, can you repeat that again?
Okay. Range, if you put two values in range like this, two values in range, you are saying that it should generate a list of numbers for you that starts from 5 and ends at 10, but it will not include 10 itself. Do you understand?
Alright, I get that.
So that is like saying, generate this for us. So if I have 2,7, that is like saying.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm with you, sir.
Yeah, I was thinking since 5 is. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was thinking since 5, 10, and you said 10 will not be included. Why is 5 also included since 5 has already been mentioned?
Okay. What happens is that the way the function works is that the first argument is inclusive. The second argument is exclusive. It's not inclusive. Do you get it, sir? Now that's the way the function works.
Okay.
That's the way the function works. The first argument is inclusive. The second argument is non-inclusive. So,
Okay.
alright, sir. Now, we can shorten this. Instead of saying 0,6, 0,6 is going to give you 0 to 5. You can just say 6. If you put a single value inside it, it will interpret it as 0,6. If I just put 7, it will interpret it as 0,7. If I just put 10, it will interpret it as 0,10. That means just by putting 10 here, it is the same as saying 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I hope we get it.
Yes.
Okay.
Can we print it?
Yes, you can print it. We'll see how we can print the values inside this range. Then you can still take one more value, which is the step. Remember I said if you have 0,6, this is 0 to 5. Let's use a long number. Let's say 0,20 or 2,20. That is 2 to 19, right? I can now add a step. I can say let the step be 5. Now this third argument, what it does is that the first value will be 2. The second value should be 3, but instead of being 3, it will add 5 to it. 2 plus 5, that's 7. The third value should be 8, but instead of that, it will add 5 to it. 7 plus 5, that's 12. The third argument, add 5 to this. 12 plus 5, that's 17. The next argument, add 5 to it. 17 plus 5, that's 22. But 22 has exceeded this second value, so it's going to stop here. This is going to give you 2, 7, 12, 17. Do we understand? Let's look at another example. Alright. So let's say I have 4, 18, 2. So this is going to give us 4 plus 2, that is 6, which is this, plus 2 again, that is 8, plus 2, that's 10, plus 2, that's 12, plus 2, that's 14, plus 2, that's 16, plus 2, that's 18. But remember, since this is 18, this 18 will not be included in the results. So it's going to stop. Any questions so far? Okay, so let's see how this is valuable to loop. Why do we even need to learn this before we look at today's class? We can say for I can be anything. Then must use I. You can call it anything. In range 2, 10. Remember, 2, 10 is 2 to 9, right? I can say print I. So I will represent each of the values here. So this is going to print 2, print 3, print 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we have these results. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, let's say we now have, we can also shorten it to this. This is going to print 0 to 9. This is going to print 0 to 9. 0 to 9. So let's say we have a list of numbers. Let's say our list of names, anything. I want to print the values inside this list. In our last class, we said we can easily do that by saying for name in right. Please, are you with me? Please, are you with me?
Yes.
Alright. So in our last class, I explained that we can easily use this for name in names, print name. And that's going to print each of the name for us. But there is a little problem with this approach. What if I'm interested in the position? Remember I said this is index 0, this is index 1, this is index 2. So if we go on with this approach, yes, we have access to the values, but we do not have access to the position, to the index. So in case you want to have access to the index, the positions of those values, you use this approach. Let's see how we can now make use of this approach. Remember also, in that class, I explained to you that if I say print names Oops. What will this give me, please?
All the names.
No, this is going to give me Kenny.
Kenny.
No, Taye.
Kenny.
No, Kenny.
No,
Kenny. Got it.
Kenny.
It's going to give me Kenny. Correct. Good. Let's move on. So I can now say print I. I will be, let's move this. I will first, remember range 3 is 0, let me just comment it out. No, range 3 is 0, 1, 2, right? I will first be 0, it will print 0. Then I becomes 1, it will print 1. Then I becomes 2, it will print 2. But I can say, instead of saying, I can say names, index of I. Please, do you understand? I will first be 0. This becomes print names index 0, which is Taye. Then I becomes the next number here, which is 1. Then print names index I, which is 1. That's going to print Kenny. Then I becomes the next value here, which is 2. Then print names index 2, which is Ido. Do you understand this approach?
Yes.
Any questions so far? Okay.
So, sir, if you have range that is running in 1,000.
Okay. Listen. Is it my network? Please, can you hear me? Please, can you hear me? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You were asking a question.
We lost you.
Please, you were asking can you hear me? Please, you're asking a question.
Yes, can hear you now.
Okay. You said if you have range that is what?
Large range,
Okay.
and maybe you don't have the total range. How do you represent that?
Okay.
Maybe you have names of people, very long list that you don't even know where it's ending.
Okay.
So how do you go about it?
Good question. So we're going to look at that now. But before we look at that, I want us to take a look at something. Imagine this is 5. If I run this code, it's going to throw an error. Reason being that I will first be 0, right? It will print names index 0, which is Taye. Then I becomes 1, it will print names index 1, which is Kenny. Then I becomes 2, it will print names index 2, which is Ido. Then I becomes 3, it will print names index 3. Now, there is no names index 3, so it's going to throw an error. And of course, there is no names index 4, it's going to throw an error. So when we run this, you will see error. And that now leads us to your question. You can see we have an error here. That leads us to your question. The question now is that if we do not know the number of values in this list, so instead of just putting a value here, like a specific number, how do we automate it so that it's going to automatically undo that itself and there will be no error? One thing we can do, instead of saying 5, we can say len names. Please, are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. So we can just say len names. Now, there are 3 values here. Len names is 3. That is just like saying for
James, your parents are here. Just get ready.
For I in range, len names is 3 in range 3. This is what you're just citing. For I in range 3, I remember range 3 is like this: 0, 1, 2. So it's now going to print names index 0, which is Taye. Then I becomes 1, names index 1, which is Kenny. Then I becomes 2, names index 2, which is Ido. Do we get this approach?
Yes.
Okay. Now the beauty of this approach is that even if the number of values inside this list should increase tomorrow, to
You're not
increase.
Richards or
Sorry,
oh my goodness.
sorry, we can mute our mic. So if we have this range len names 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So len names now is automatically 6. So this will automatically fill it up for us for I in range 6. And range 6 is 0 to 5. So I will be the first value here, which is 0. It's going to print names index 0, which is Taye. Then I becomes the next value, which is 1. So this gets to the end of the list. Any questions so far? Do we understand my explanation?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So that is how we can use that. Now, for break, we want to look at break. We may not be able to check continue tonight, but we'll look at break, then I'll give us an assignment on it. So let's say I have for I in range 7. Remember, range 7 is 0 to 6. Print I, this is going to print 0 to 6. Now, break. Breaks is similar to return in the sense that if there's any code outside break, you use break inside a loop. You know, the return is for functions, but you use break inside a loop. If there's any break, any code after break, Python is not going to read it. Let's just say print I. So if you run this code, I will first be 0. If you print I, which is a 0, it will see break. Immediately it sees break, it will stop the loop, terminates the loop immediately. So it's not going to do anything again inside that loop. And so you will only see 0. Do we understand? Break means I've seen what I'm searching for. No point going over the loop again. Questions so far?
Sorry, why is it printing 0 and not the name?
Because we did not say names. Oops.
Oh, okay.
If you had done this would have printed Taye and stop. Okay, let's move on. So I can now do something like this. I can say if I is equal to 2 break. Oops. Break. Let's just say print. If I run this code, please you can tell me what I'll say.
Ido.
No. Who can help us? Who can help us? Who can help us?
Ido.
Okay, thank you, ma.
I think you should print Taye.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And do.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, let's look at it together. Remember I told us that range 7 looks like this, right? Please, are you with me? Please, are you with me? Am I still connected? Can we hear me?
Yes, we are with you, sir.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes, we can hear.
All right, thank you so much. So, when 7 looks like this, 0 to 6, I will first be the first value here, which is 0. It's going to print I, which is 0. Is I equals to 2? Please, what is I? 0, right? Is 0 equals to? No. That means it will not enter this place. So it's not going to see this break. It won't. I becomes the next value, which is 1. It will print I, which is 1. Is I 1? Is it equals to 2? No, 1 is not equals to 2. It's not going to enter this place. I becomes the next value, which is 2. Print I, which is 2. Is I equals to 2? Is 2 equals to 2? Yes. It will enter this if statement. It will see this break and it will stop the loop immediately. Do we understand? So you only see 0, 1, 2. Any question? Do we get it? Now, I know.
Sorry, are you saying that now it's a print Taye Kenny Ido?
No, it will print 0, 1, 2. If you are interested in printing Taye Kenny Ido, you will use names index I. I is just a number. Just see it as a number. Once you are using it like this, this only represents the position, the index of these numbers. So I is just a number. If I'm interested in the values at that particular position, then I will say names index I. Do we understand it? Please, do you get it?
Yes, sir.
So let's play a bit. I want to ask us this. If I run this code, what will I say?
It should throw an error
Okay, why?
because the list is not up to 7. I was up to 8. I'm thinking of.
Okay, it's not another at the end here, alright? Let's adjust this a bit. Line names. Okay, so if you run this, what will you say? Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, if you have this, what are we going to see?
Kenny.
Okay, just Kenny.
We're asking
Thank
to
you,
print
ma.
1.
Okay. Okay, thank you, ma. You are right, so we see Kenny. But the thing is that we're going to see Kenny 6 times. Do we understand? High will first be the first value here. You know, learn names. How many items do we have in names? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So learn names is a 0 to 5. So I will first be 0. It's going to print names index of 1. That is Kenny. Then I becomes the next value, which is 1. There's going to print names index of 1, which is Kenny. Then I becomes the next value, which is 2. There's going to print names index of 1, which is Kenny. Then I becomes the next value, which is 3. There's going to print names index of 1, which is Kenny. I is going to be 4. Then it's going to print Kenny. Add is going to be 5. Then it's going to print Kenny. Do we understand? So this is going to print Kenny 6 times.
Okay, so that's why we named a break.
No. I only use this to see how much you understand what I've been explaining.
Oh, okay.
So this is summary of what I've explained. When you have range is going to give you a sequence of numbers, then high in that range. So whatever, if you have 5 items there, this loop is going to run 5 times. If you have 10 numbers there, this loop is going to run 10 times. But immediately it sees break, it will stop immediately. It will stop at that spot. And in case you need access to these values, you use the list name index I. Let me ask us another question. If I is equal to 3, okay, let's play with this.
You are breaking up.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear you. The last thing you said, I didn't hear.
Okay, can you hear me very well now, ma?
Yes, I can hear you now.
That's fine. So, hello? So if I run this code, what am I going to see? Just use line names. Please, if I run this code, what am I going to see?
So that means you should. I think you should see value between 0, 1, and 2. Because you are saying if I is not equals to 3. So that means it could be 0, it could be 1, it could be 2.
Okay, thank you, man. Thank you so much, man. Who else can help us also? Okay, let's look at it together. Okay.
What I can say is it's not going to print anything.
Okay.
Because I is not equal to 3.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. Let's look at it together. How will first be the first value, which is 0, right? Then it will print names index I. What is names index I? That is Taye. It will print Taye out. It's going to check this condition. Is I not equal to 3? Is this condition true? What is I? Please, who can tell me the value of I?
Taye.
I is 0. No, I is not Taye. It is names in the good. Please know the difference. Names index I is Taye, but I itself is not Taye. I is 0. Good. Is I, which is 0, is this condition true? Is 0 not equals 3? Yes, that condition is true. 0 is not equal to 3. Do we get it?
Yes.
So it will enter this if statement and it will see break. Immediately it sees break, it will stop the loop. So you will only see Taye on the screen because it has already printed its Taye before seeing the break.
Okay.
So you see Taye. Any questions so far? Okay. Now assignments. I'll give us 2 assignments. Here is the first assignment. I want you to print all the values. So I want you to print all the values inside this before index. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, before index 3. That means I want to print Taye, I want to print Kenny, I want to print Idowu, but not Chinazon. And again, this line will look like this. This line is not going to change. That is for I in range learn names is not going to change. But you can change every other thing here. But like I said, don't change this first line. So I want to print all the names before index 3. That means I want to print Taye, I want to print Kenny, I want to print Idowu. That's the first assignment. Assignment 2 is this. I want you to print all the names, but immediately it sees Idowu, it should stop printing. I come again. I want you to print all the names, but immediately it sees Idowu, it should stop printing. That means I want to print Taye, I want to print Kenny, but not this Idowu. Now, let me explain what this assignment means to us. If this Idowu is, if the location of this Idowu is changed from this place to this place, that means it's between Taye, Kenny, Chinazom, Akwayami, Money. Do we get it?
Yes.
If the location of Idowu is shifted from this place to this place, that means it's a print Taye, Kenny, Chinazom. Sorry, someone's mic is not muted. Aha. Okay. So, if you run this, that is, if I change the location of the Idowu, it will still give me what I want. That is, it must print all the names before Idowu, no, not after Idowu, and not even Idowu itself. Any question on that? So those are the two assignments given to us. Firstly, it should not print the what's it called? It should stop at the third index. Then secondly, it should not print any name after Idowu. That is, when it's printing, it should stop at Idowu. Question before we go. So in answers of question, let's call it a day. Thanks for coming. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, sir. Good night, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good night, sir. Thank you.